Okay, so let's get back into another part of Jack in the Box. Okay, so yesterday we left off with Marissa being getting her case taken away from her and it being assigned to Trinity. And Clara literally saying that, asking John to escort, which was one of the other agents, to escort her out of the room. But of course, Marissa decided it wasn't necessary. So she got up on her own and she left with her head up, okay? So she, on her way out, she wound up running right into Mahogany. She was in labor. So she wasn't with Gregory, and she told Marissa that Gregory was getting his memory back and he was at the hospital. So Marissa did some digging, found his room, and literally hijacked him out of the hospital and put him in her back seat. So she is now on a mission to get Jack out of there because as of now, Jack's life is in danger. She didn't know how to quite find the other 10 people that were memories were lost, but that was her next mission. We'll start there. After putting Gregory in the back seat, Marissa came back into the hospital. This time she took her jacket off because she decided, she looked at the tracker and she realized Jack was still in the hospital. So her mind told her if Jack was still in the hospital and they hadn't transferred him out, that technically he was still safe. They weren't going to take him out right there in the hospital. They would have to remove him. But currently Jack is so sedated that it probably wasn't something that they can do because they still needed the doctors to okay it. Okay, so moving forward, she decided to go and pay Mahogany a visit to help her through her labor because she couldn't imagine a first-time mom having the baby all by herself. So she felt a certain way about it. And so she went up to the labor and delivery and she told them that she was Mahogany's sister and that she was there to assist her through her labor. And so they guided her into the room and Mahogany was shocked to see her. And she waited until the nurse left and Mahogany said, Marissa, this ain't really ain't a good time. I'm in a lot of pain and I just don't have any more questions. I mean, there's no more questions that I can answer right now. And she said, I'm not here to ask you any questions, Mahogany. I'm here to support you through this labor because Gregory isn't able to. Marissa looked at her differently in that moment. She started crying. I thought I was going to have to go through this by myself. Thank you so much. Thank you, Marissa. So Marissa stood by her side and she said, well, give me 1 second. She said, I'm going to go get us a bucket of ice. And I hear that's important throughout labor. And so Marissa laughed and she said, thank you so much. She said, this is really kind of you. I was sitting here and I was praying and then all of a sudden you showed up. She said, not the way I thought you would. I thought you was coming in here to interrogate me more, and I know this wasn't a good time for me, and I just really appreciate you, Marissa. And she said, don't think about it. I'm just going to go get you some ice, and we have everything we need here. And she said, I'm just going to sit here, and I'm going to hold your hand when I get back. I said, God is just always looking out for me. And just like this, always, in this way. Can't nobody tell me that God ain't real. I don't even have the right words right now. I just, Mahogany was having a contraction. And it was so strong. It hit her so strongly. So Marissa ran outside and she said, "You okay?" I'm just having a contraction. This is the strongest one yet. Oh God. She said, "Okay, well, let me hurry up. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get that ice." So Marissa ran out and went and got the ice and came right back. And at this point, Mahogany was in a fetal position because she was in so much pain. So she came right behind Mahogany and just started rubbing her back. And she told her, she said, "Everything's going to be okay. We're going to have this baby. This baby's going to be healthy. You're going to be healthy. Everything's going to be okay. So we got this." She said, "It's almost game time." She said, "When was the last time the doctor came and checked you?" At this point, Mahogany couldn't even speak because she was in so much pain. And so she understood, so she just continued to rub her back and say some very soothing things to her. So she finally decided to turn on some really nice music to keep the energy well in the room. And so she just rubbed her back and took some ice and rubbed it across her head and rubbed it across her lips. And she was just so supportive. And Mahogany really appreciated it. So finally, the doctor came in. He said, "Okay, let's check the patient." And so Marissa looked up. She said, "She's in so much pain. Is there anything you can do to relieve her pain?" He said, "Well, let's check to see how far she's dilated, and we'll see. She has to be at least about 4 centimeters in order to, get that pain relief." And so he said, "Let's check you." So Marissa helped Mahogany turn over, and the doctor began to check her. He said, "Whoa." He said, "This is not what I expected." Marissa said, "Well, what's going on?" He said, "She's 8 centimeters. She went from 3 centimeters to 8 centimeters in 2 hours. That's amazing." He said, "That baby's ready." He said, "The baby's ready. The baby's almost here." He said, "The way she's dilating it, we never know. It could be between now and an hour." Marissa looked at Mahogany. She said, "Oh my God, it's almost game time." She said, "We're almost there. It's okay. That's why you're in so much pain. You dilated so much." She said, "It's okay." So she continued to talk to her and she continued to soothe her with the ice. And so the doctor said, "Well, look here." He said, "I'll probably walk away and come right back and the baby will be right there on the bed." And so Marissa said, "You never know." She said, "Well, I'm here for her." He said, "Well, you got the training, hopefully, and if not, you'll find out." And Marissa just looked at him and thought, he's corny, but okay. She said, "Well, thank you, doctor." And so the doctor exited the room, and Marissa just continued to rub on her, and she said, she pulled the yoga ball out, and she said, "Did you want to sit here and just roll on the ball and stretch your back?" So she helped her out of the bed. And so as soon as she helped her out of the bed, Mahogany said, "I think it's coming." She said, "What?" I think it's coming. I feel so much pressure. I feel like I gotta use the bathroom. It feels like it's right there." And she said, "Are you sure? You were just 8 centimeters. I know, but I really feel like it's right there. I mean it. I really feel it's right there. Marissa, is something coming out of me, and I can feel it. I need to lay back down because I can feel it." So she helped her back into the bed. She laid back in the bed, and she said, "Well, let me, if you don't mind, I don't mean to get in your business, but I can check for you." And so she opened up her legs, and there was the baby crowning. So Marissa ran into the hall. Doctor, she's having this baby now. Somebody please come on in. She's having a baby."